So back to the topic in hand. Why are we doing all of this? Why are we putting out so much content, creating our audiences, engaging with you on a daily basis? It's really quite simple. We are looking to engage with our audience and look at how we're going to build with our future clients. How are we going to give out meaningful content that they are finding useful to get them to get to know us, get to like us, get to trust us? Because if we can follow that process through, that's when we're going to start and win. Now, just a quick recap. Last week, I looked at the flywheel method, flywheel model on how to grow your business. And we had a touch point on the efficiency of a flywheel and some of the things that might hinder the effectiveness of your flywheel model. It could be the size, speed, it could be friction. But we're not going to spend too much time on that today, because I'd like to take a deeper look into how we apply some forces to our business and those 4 main areas within our marketing strategy that we need to think about. Now, we've got a rough drawing here where we've got strangers, prospects, customers, and promoters. And I've just put some very simple arrows to show you that we need to apply forces, marketing forces, to each of those areas to make sure that they actually transition through this cycle that we're looking at. Now, depending on the size of your business and the maturity of your business, how long you've been in business, you might have different people, different clients, customers at different positions of this wheel. So it's important to remember that you might be at different stages of maturity within that wheel that you need to also nurture and manage through the process. It's not a linear process. We don't start with everyone being at the same starting point at strangers and everyone finishing that cycle at the same time, because different projects will have different pipelines. So obviously some will come and go and some will still be with you hopefully for many years to come. So let's start with the strangers. Now, this is obviously probably the hardest point. How are we going to find strangers to get to know us initially and to see what we are doing and what we are offering? And we often, I'm sure you also have this in your communities, on your own personal Facebook threads. You'll see lots of ads popping up and lots of interest and content being put out there, because often people see that as a shortcut way of getting strangers to get to know them. That's all very well, but if you are making a genuine, fairly high value purchase or engagement of a service, you will want to do your homework. You will take another look at other platforms, website. That is your key area where people are going to go and see what you're really about. You don't have that social proof of a website clearly showing what you do, what you offer, hints, tips, added value in general, that people can engage and say, yes, I think I quite like the look of it. I'm going to take this a little further. It's a huge opportunity it's not enough just to have social media pages set up with everything tucked away in different screens. We all know it. Social media is changing at such a fast pace that to keep abreast of all those changes all the time can be very confusing for your audience. Just as they've got familiar with finding something in a particular place, the platform goes and changes them again. And this is why a website can be your absolute strong foundation, strong core to your business, because it's in your control. You get to decide when you're going to change. You get to decide how you build your website to be a familiar and easy to navigate site, using best practices in the industry so that you don't actually turn off your stranger that has finally decided to. And it really is about adding value. So your customer can't get to know you, the stranger I should say, until you're able to actually connect with them. So it's really important that you pay attention to content marketing. Now, I often tell people who are not blogging or not looking at that side, I normally ask them a little question, which is, Now, who's the biggest reader of your blog? And they're normally looking at, I'm asking some kind of trick question, or I'm asking for a special magic number, or some sort of identity of their customers that are actually reading. I'm not. It's not a trick question. I'm actually just trying to highlight to you that aside from the humans that are engaging, the biggest reader of your blog is Google. Why do we go to Google? Because Google gives us the most relevant information that we are looking for. And so if Google, through its bots, can see that, yes, this website, let's say SF, are regularly updating their blog, they are putting out meaningful, useful content, I'm going to give them brownie points because they are doing that. And so they must be worthwhile because they're getting the visit, getting the hits. So they are worthy of crediting them with points. Now, going back to the favorite win of the week for us, where I showed you blog post featured snippet, that's how that has got to that page, because Google is tracking what we are doing and is then able to put us in front of an absolutely huge Google audience, somebody that has searched for that particular. And this is why your content marketing strategy needs to be consistent. So our blog posts now are regularly going out twice, 3 times a week. This is part of our system of how we are outputting. It's not a I'll do it if I have some time. It's not a nice to have, but I'm far too busy. It is essential to all our activities. It's something that we are doing faithfully with all the team to make sure the content, and it's a work in progress. Where we started however many years ago with blogs has evolved. Where we started at the beginning of lockdown, which was March for us and here in the UK, what we were doing with our blogs even at that point has completely changed where we are 6 months down the line. And, you know, further to our planning meeting and obviously our continual improvement, we are also going to be changing a little bit of that content again going forward. So we are constantly, like I say, evolving and hopefully improving our output. It's not enough. Good enough is not good enough. It's about always improving and trying to reach the best we possibly can. So that's a little bit about content marketing. Now, next one, video marketing. So we've all seen the huge explosion of people suddenly taking to their devices and all putting out content on devices, various social platforms, in Facebook, Insta, some are playing with TikTok, and many, many others. Why do we do it? Clearly, we as advocates of video marketing campaigns for our customers, we know this works. Our audience, our strangers, if you like, come to us the majority of the time through our video marketing. But let's not forget that I've just talked about blogs. So how come you're now saying video marketing? Well, actually, if you were to go and take a look at our blogs, you will see that the origination of that blog is actually coming from the video. That today's video will become part of a blog post. Video becomes embedded within that page of the blog, but then there will be a blog article accompanying it as well. So the video marketing, again, for us is about consistent output, regularly putting out good quality information and content that your audience will engage with. It's also a great advantage to be able to humanize what is basically a very cold, hard face, the internet. How are you going to stand out from the many businesses that are out there trying products? Being able to demonstrate what you do and putting a face to the name will help with that engagement and increases the likability.